All right, here we go.
I can always count on you for the soft intro while the music's playing.
I have nothing to say when the music's done playing.
What is the name of this show?
I thought we changed it to what are we doing here?
What the fuck are we doing? Well, no, I mean, yeah, what the hell are we doing here?
Hell are we doing here?
What's up, everybody? This is John Spalding with SG Media Group today. And I have my friend Klingenberg Who today. Thank you for joining me, man. How's it going?
It's wonderful, John. Thanks for having me again on number 11.
Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is the It's Better With You Fancast number 11. Today, we are down to 2. We started with 2. We went up to 5, including 1 caller. And now we're back down to 2 fans. I think the Browns season is having its toll on everybody.
There's as many fans here as there were at the game on Sunday.
That game on Sunday. Well, we're definitely going to talk about that. Let's look at what we're going to talk about tonight. So we have, this is our intros and agenda. This is Klingenberg Who's favorite part of the program. Is that correct?
We're not doing wide receiver rants again, are we?
No, we have a new bit called...
That's fine.
The new bit is called What Did We Just Watch? And that is where...
Now that I can go with.
That is where we review all of the bullshit of what it takes to watch a Cleveland Browns football game. Then, of course, we have our Browns quotes. We have our feature that we introduced during our 10th one, What the Hell Are We Doing Here? That's just news and notes for the team as of like today or yesterday. And then we will review our You Heard It Here First guesses from last week, pick a winner, and make a couple predictions for this year. I do have Jim's prediction with a quote. So we'll bring that into You Heard It Here First. Yeah, I made him at least give that.
Wow.
So, what did we just watch? Are you ready for this?
I can't wait.
So I just put a couple stats up here for everybody, so they can look at them. I'll go through them. So the end of the score, this final score was 12, Tennessee, Cleveland 9. Kaiser played the first half. He was 12 of 20 for 114 yards with 2 interceptions. Kessler was 10 of 19 for 121 yards and 1 interception. Isaiah Crowell was 17 touches for 35 yards, and Duke Johnson was 7 touches for 26 yards. I didn't highlight any of the receivers because really there wasn't anything to highlight with the receivers. David Njoku caught 2 passes for 30-some yards. And here are the 4 points that I put up there. Joe Thomas lost for the year. Huge loss.
I don't think there's a bigger loss on the team.
No. He was the heart and soul of the team. Well, obviously, 11,000 plays straight. What an accomplishment.
10,363. Is that the official total?
Dang. I'm assuming you have it in front of you.
I can't remember what the exact numbers are.
I
It
don't know the
spans
exact
over
total,
11 seasons. He's never missed an offense.
It's amazing is what it is.
It's unprecedented, I think. No one probably will ever come close to it.
Yeah. That was huge. When that happened, it was bad. It was bad. Spencer Drango was in there, and oh boy.
Yeah, kind of makes you wonder exactly what are they going to do this Sunday?
Yeah, because whoever their end is for Minnesota, they were talking about him today. He's super big, super fast.
10,363.
Dang.
That is that's absolutely it's amazing when you think about it. 11 years, all on a torn tricep. And how many games snaps has he just walked out there hurt and just played?
All right, so he has 1 more year left on his contract. Is he coming back?
You know what? A guy like Thomas, I would think, would not want to go out like this.
That's right.
I think he'll come back and play. He'll
He'll
do
come
it.
back.
He might not come out and play every snap again,
Do you
but I would see him coming back.
do you ever see a point in time where he could transition to being a player coach? Or would they do that? I know they don't do that much in the NFL anymore.
You know what? I don't. Yeah, I don't think they has it been done. It's not even. I don't
They
know.
go right
I
into
don't think
they go into a coaching track
something.
afterwards. Like they'll
Yeah,
retire, they go into a track, and then
I don't think that would be. It doesn't. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who would want to do something like that.
yeah, he
Yeah.
does strike me as someone who we could actually get on the fan cast after he's done.
You know what? He would probably be up for it. He seems like that kind of guy. His personality comes across that way, and I've
Hmm.
never met him. Just what I hear, what he says, he seems like he could fit right in and give his. You heard it here first.
Oh man. All right. So that it sucks that Joe Thomas is done for the year, but if we talk about it anymore, we're just going to get even more and more depressed. So let's talk about something fun. Kenny Britt got booed at the stadium. I don't know. I don't believe I was one of the ones that did it. But there's some speculation that
I was. Yeah, I was, and you were sitting right next to me, so I know you were too.
there
Because
was
he short armed that pass that he very easily could have caught. Then he faked an injury, if you ask me, just so he could get off the field.
we weren't
Now Hugh
booing.
says he knocked the air out of him. He got the wind knocked out of him. That happens to how many guys on how many plays? You go off the field for one, you come right back in, you
Right.
contribute.
There were a couple people that say it looked to me one of those little got a little embarrassed that he dropped that ball. Took a little bit extra time.
He heard the
I don't know what he
crowd
thought it
start to boo him when they saw the replay, and he was like, I better go hide over here on the bench and act hurt.
See, and so some people are thinking that we were all booing because it was Kenny Britt and we don't like him and we want him to be cut. And booing him because he was injured.
No, everybody was booing him because he gave a half-assed effort on that play, and it's a ball he should have caught.
Absolutely.
For the money he's getting paid, and he's supposedly a number one receiver, you have to make that catch. Your elbows can't be at your stomach. No wonder he knocked the wind out of himself.
Yes.
He landed on his arms because they were tucked under his body. You see every other receiver in the league sticks their arms out and makes that catch.
Yeah.
He alligator armed it, and that was it.
Yep. I was telling people, hands down, the loudest boos came because we were all watching the replay.
Yeah, nobody was booing Kenny Britt or cheering that he was injured.
Yeah.
The last thing we need is anyone else to be injured on this team,
Right.
including him.
But he's done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing. Ugh. Oh boy.
He's collecting $9 million this year, a $17 million contract or something like that, and I don't even know how much of it's guaranteed. I would pay him right now to just go away.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's Dwayne Bowe 2.0. He's the exact same.
It goes back to the decision making of this front office.
Well, they put themselves in this position.
Yeah.
Now you have to overpay guys who just want to collect a paycheck. You try to field a veteran receiver who doesn't want to be here.
Yeah. My thing is, why would you just get one? And then you have Corey Coleman's lost. You have Jordan Payton, who they let go, I guess.
Well, they've done this to themselves from the very beginning because they still haven't gotten a quarterback. Guys don't want to come here to play with rookies that are going to get them killed on the field.
So that's the next bullet point. Kaiser got pulled in the second half because Hugh was trying to win the game.
How many consecutive weeks is this that he got yanked?
It's the third.
In a start.
It's the third.
And then Hugh turns around today and says he's starting Kaiser in London because he gives him the best chance to win.
His doublespeak, he's really good. Like last year, I was like, maybe it's going to be better with you. And then I listened to him this year, and I'm like, you're like Pat Shurmur. You say the same thing over and over again, but you give no specifics, you give no details, and you don't hold players accountable.
Every Wednesday he gives the same interview about 3 o'clock. I hear it on the radio on my way home. And he says the same thing. We had a great practice today, a lot of energy. Everybody was up for it. We had a great practice. We just have to carry it over to this weekend.
And now we just got to go out there and win. Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got to do. It's just that simple. Great practice on Wednesday. They'll probably have a walkthrough tomorrow and then get on the plane because he wanted to finish up his practices here for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Get on a plane. They'll have a day or two in
Just,
London, and they'll do another walkthrough, and then they'll go out there and they'll stink up another freaking country.
did you see that Haslam sprung for a jet that has the beds so that they can lay down on their way there? Because I'm sure it's because analytics have showed that when you're getting or when you're going across the country, it's better to get your sleep straight than it is anything.
You heard that here first.
He commissioned a jet for lay down beds for a team that's 0-7. I would say here's what I would say. I would say you're getting there on coach. I will get this jet where you can sleep on the way back if you win.
You know what?
And if not, you have the bye week. I would do like what's that? The Amazing Race. I would just make them Amazing Race home. I'd be like, here's like 500 rubles or whatever, and just make your way home. Find your way. If you make it, then you're back. You're back on the team. If you make it, you're back on the team.
You know who made a good point today when they brought that up on 92.3? Adam the Bull said they should have to fly over there and back on that plane from Major League. And I thought that was priceless. Yes. Either that or he should have just told them, hey, guys, you better start making your own plane reservations.
Yeah, dude.
Here's Spirit's website. Maybe Frontier. I don't know who flies over there, but start, create an account. Get your own.
Yeah, here's a Travelocity account for you with $500 in it. You're responsible for managing your own airfare.
That's it. And by the way, bags are probably $25-$30 a piece.
I like Adam the Bull's idea. That plane in Major League is great. That puddle jumper.
You know what? And that's all fine and great for Haslam if that's what he wants to do for the team. But
I don't know. I just don't think.
How many? Here's the next question: Is how many of the guys that right now, Hugh included, are going to be on that plane back? Because
I don't
this
think
very well, I don't think they're going to get rid of him either. But
I don't think they're going to get rid of
you.
Hugh.
Over there and get fucking embarrassed by the Vikings, which very well could happen. You have no right tackle. You have no left tackle. So your interior lineman is all you really have right now with Batonio, Treader, or JC
and Zeitler.
And Zeitler.
Yeah.
So unless you're planning on running right up the center's ass, you'll have no running game, which you obviously don't have anyway. If you're giving the ball to Crow more times than you're giving it to Duke, who is your best offensive player right now, he should have 25 touches a game, and Crow should be sitting on the bench.
Well, not only that, should they even be running Crow and maybe trying Days? I don't know. I mean, we haven't talked about that yet at all, but Crow gets touched and he falls down.
And I very well can't imagine that, since this is Crow's contract year, that they're going to give him an extension next year. So, yeah, they very well should use Days, and their 1-2 punch should be Johnson and Days. That should be it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd see if you can get a bag of balls for Crow right now.
Yep.
Maybe you can get a wide receiver for Crow, someone that actually wants to catch the ball.
That'd be nice. The trading deadline, will they make a move? I bet they won't. I bet they can't.
Who you have no one to trade.
But they have picks.
You have a lot of picks. I mean, and that's what they put them in a position. They put themselves in a position to have picks and salary cap space, but it does you no good if you don't utilize it. So is this the year they actually take all these picks and do something with them and spend all this salary cap money that they have? I don't understand what they're waiting for.
That's what I don't know. Especially for this year, you're that much under the cap. You could have signed at least 3-4.
That's why I would write Kenny Britt the check for the rest of his contract and ship him on his way. It isn't going to hurt you in money wise. You made a mistake. You got hosed. You got hosed by Holmgren. You got hosed by Dwayne Bowe. You got hosed by this guy. They all got their money, and they're gone. Bye.
Yep.
Be rid of them.
Yep. So, Kaiser, do you think Kaiser? You think he needs to keep Min now and stop pulling him, or do you think pulling him is teaching him valuable lessons?
It doesn't seem to have worked so far as teaching him a lesson. I mean, I will give him this. He throws the ball further out of bounds than he did before. when he throws it away.
Yeah.
It's about the extent of it, but still, poor decision making, especially when they actually get close to the red zone. Hugh said it himself today. He said, he understands that as the quarterback in the NFL, you cannot turn the ball over. That is something you cannot do, and that's why he's taking him off the field, because he probably told him before the game, look, he doesn't discount him for the picks that are not his fault. And let's face it, the ball hitting the receiver in the hands and him laying it to the DBs is not Kaiser's fault. It might be thrown a little bit behind him. It might be thrown a little bit high. But if it hits you in the hands, the chest, or the shoulder pads, you got to catch that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna peg Kaiser on all of those. But those ones that he just airmailed to some players, good. I don't. Yeah, go sit on the bench.
Okay.
The only problem with that is, you're throwing Kaiser on the bench and bringing in Kessler. Yay!
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. If you look at it, it made almost no difference. Threw one less interception, got another field goal.
Yeah. Well, Hugh, with his coaching decisions this past week, is the one that, in my opinion, lost the game.
And that's next up. Well, so
hopefully,
next up was the third down penalty.
The third down penalty?
That's the last one. What in the flying bleep was that?
It was 3rd and 1. You got the 15-yard penalty. You take that penalty, you make them go 3rd and 16, and they're out of field goal range at that point, and they would have to punt.
Yeah.
They went for it on 4th down, and they got it, and that was...
Well, they went for it, and that they drew us off
sides. Well, yeah, Shelton jumped off sides.
Was it Shelton that did it?
It was Shelton that jumped off sides. I'm almost positive he
dancing
jumped off sides.
Dumbass.
The dancing Samoan cookie is, he just jumped off sides and gives them the first down. But you know what? Hugh should have never put the team in that position in the first place.
Well, that's 2 coaching blunders right there. 1 is the decision not to take the yards, and 2 is the amount of penalties that this team has received. All goes back to discipline and coaching. It's so sad. It's so sad.
And and you can't even blame. You can't say that the majority of them are on defense. Because I think probably with the offense,
we're offsides and offensive holding and offensive pass interference.
Yeah, it's like 50-50, which I would have thought that Greg Williams would have this defense whipped into shape, because he sure does talk a good game.
That defense ain't bad though, man. When they're at full strength, that defense is not bad.
What's the next slide?
Quotes. All right, here we go.
Yeah, you're going to tell me the defense isn't bad because they held the Titans to 4 field goals?
No. I think the defense isn't bad. I think that's obvious. The front 7 is the strength of the team. Secondary, okay. Give up some points, I know.
Well, if you're giving up points, you ain't that good.
Yeah, I know. But listen, they're always on the field, and they're always in shitty territory because of the interceptions. So, what do you want?
Well, we don't make anybody go 3 and out, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
It's very, very rare, and we give up way too many long third downs.
There was
even if we get them in a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, it almost seems like it's 3rd and manageable for every team that we play. They extend drives.
Yeah.
And now with Myles Garrett in the concussion protocol, there goes another one. Jamie Collins has a shoulder. Burris or whatever his name is, he's probably not playing. So we're going to be out there with Schobert by himself.
And Kirksey.
What's the next slide?
You ready? It's a quote. I got nothing to say to you at all.
Oh, I know that was Kenny Britt. I heard that one because there was somebody in the locker room asked him about something, and that was his response. I can't believe that Hugh doesn't have the sack to tell this guy, you're inactive this week.
Yeah, get the bleep out.
And if you don't like it, tough shit. Either that or I'd put him on the field and I'd throw the ball to him every single time just to watch a DBs and a linebacker slaughter him.
Oh, my gosh.
That's me.
Is this someone, I forget who it was, on the FM channel, had a football guy on there, and he was talking about how there's definitely a rift between coaching and front office, and that a lot of this is like, see, this is what you've given us to work with, and this is what it looks like. What do you think about that?
I think that's probably 1,000% accurate. Because do I think that Hugh needs to be fired? Only, and I would only say yes, that Hugh would need to be fired if he had a hand in picking these players. If analytics
Mm-hmm.
is what put these players on the field, and you're asking a guy to make chicken salad with chicken shit, it isn't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You're telling the coach, look, this is what we want you to do. We expect you to win. I would turn around to him and say, with this? Are you serious? We'll be lucky if we can score. You want us to win? And that's exactly where they are. And
Yes.
everyone understands they're one of the youngest teams in the league. I get that. It's not going to happen overnight. But you turn around and you clean house again, then you're stuck with another guy that comes in and inherits this mess.
And you basically have to start over again.
I'm sorry. I don't know how people feel about this, but you can take the analytics approach to football and shove it up your ass because it doesn't work. You have to be able to evaluate players and talent, not numbers and figures.
So they need to bring in a football person. Yay?
Yes.
Would you be in favor of
100%?
Would you be in favor of Mary Kay's option of keeping the ship going and bringing in a senior football president or executive?
And
maybe Paul D. Podesta says, "Yeah, I think I've gotten this team as far as I could." You keep the nerd. You keep the nerd herd.
Who is that person? I mean, you'd have to know. I have to know who that person is because you can have your analytics side of it and your football side of it and your personnel decisions and your numbers decisions, and you can put them together and right next to each other and say, okay, these line up pretty good. That must be right. These two are way off because this guy's way down here on my list and he's way up. I don't give a shit if he had 30 tackles last year.
I mean, we have to steal someone's either senior scout or assistant who they can target and identify as an up-and-comer that's made the decision, help make some of the decisions for some of the better teams. They have to get someone and probably interview a bunch of people and do it. They might have to do that. Maybe that's the last analytical thing that they do is find the right football person that way and get out of picking players and drafting.
You can't pick players based on numbers. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Who said it? Who said it last year? Carson Wentz. They didn't have him listed as a top 20 prospect or whatever. Good job, guys.
Good job, Paul.
Was it Paul D. Podesta that said that? Well, guess what? You were freaking wrong, and no one's going to go up there and throw themselves on the sword and say, hey, you know what? We made a mistake on that. This guy's really, really good. They're going to stick to their guns and say, well, we didn't have him rated that highly. Well, what about Deshaun Watson? Apparently, the rumor was that's who Hugh wanted. I don't know if that's true.
Right.
Guess what? Deshaun Watson looks like he's going to be a pretty goddamn good football player. Now, the Texans are right now scraping by.
Sure,
because
but we would probably have a couple wins with Watson.
I would think we would have a few more wins with Watson.
We would have a couple wins with Watson. All right, next quote. It's about doing whatever I can to have a complete game. It's been almost a month since I've been able to go out and play in the second half and attempt to win a game. I'm serving you up some softballs today, huh?
It's got to be Kaiser.
It's definitely Kaiser.
It's got to be Kaiser because he's the only one that gets yanked at halftime in every game.
See, I love the quotes. It's pretty fun. You guys are getting pretty good.
Well, these are some softballs so far. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even really have anything to say about that. Will he finish the whole game? I think he'll finish the whole game.
If he gives us the best chance to win.
If he has a good first half, he'll finish the game.
He can't turn the ball over, and they have to score. Yeah. They have to turn one of these drives into points. People were up in arms when Kevin Hogan was starting, but he was the only guy that was leading the team down the field and scoring any points.
Yeah,
I didn't want him to start. You didn't want him to start. Nobody wanted him to start. We want the guy that's going to be the franchise QB to be out there every single snap, every single week. And they did this to themselves in training camp by giving everybody first-team reps.
Yep. And they started with Kessler, then they went to Brock, and then they brought these two up.
And so I mean,
And then
it's
they switched right to Kaiser.
we've had, I don't know, I can't even think of who started which game so far.
That's what. There's some blunder. There's just some personnel blunders, and it's so unclear with who's making the decisions.
Yeah, that's something else. I would be curious to hear who's making these decisions. Is it all on Hugh? Because
Right.
a lot of like I said, I wouldn't get rid of Hugh. But then there's times when I say, he's got to go. If he's making some of these decisions, this isn't. These are bad decisions. These
Oh
are
yeah.
bad decisions.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Last year they tried to say they were doing that consensus thing, where everybody kind of gives their input and they drive for consensus, and it's like, okay, maybe, but someone still has to give the idea. Someone else has to go along with it.
This isn't running back by committee. Somebody has to lead. Steer the ship here.
Mm-hmm.
You got guys that are on the oars on the side of the boat. The guy in the back's got to tell them which ones to go hard left and hard right. You can't just, hey guys, which way do you want to go today?
That seems like what they. That seems like what they do.
It doesn't. That's not gonna. That well then that
But
would
Hugh,
explain.
and I guess
But
we'll do more of who's to blame later. There's a lot to go around. But Hugh said he had a direct line to Jimmy and D in one in either yesterday or today's press conference.
a direct line to them, meaning he just calls them at will and says, "Hey,
Meaning
this
he
is what
didn't
I'm
feel.
thinking."
Yeah, meaning he didn't feel that his job was in jeopardy or that he was playing for his job.
Then there must be some fine print in that contract of his that say he's going to be here for a third year.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the rest of us don't know about it, and or he has gone straight to them and said, "Hey, can you shut your phone off? Can these cameras go away? Can we lock this door?" And he sat down across the table from them and said, "I can't win with what you people have given me, and I don't blame you, but these other two guys, Sashi and DePodesta, are fucking this whole thing up. And we can't win like this. I know that's the end goal. That's everybody's goal in the NFL is to win a football game, but I can't do it with these guys. I hope you don't hold me responsible." And they probably said, well, we gave it a shot.
Yep.
We tried the analytics approach. Maybe next year we'll go with a football guy. I've been talking to Peyton. We got something boiling in the back room.
They brought in that Andrew Berry kid. Obviously, he is still learning.
Is that the Moneyball guy?
No, he's another Harvard dude they brought in.
They got some smart guys in that room, don't get me wrong. But I don't think any of them would know football if it fell out of the sky, landed on their face, and started to wiggle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they know
But
what
it seemed, but our talent development, I think it was 3 years ago we had like the most scouts in the league. Like since we've been back, it's like our scouting department is really bad, or no one either that or they're really good and no one listens to them.
Well, yeah, and that's something we're probably never going to know because we don't know what they say. Or even when they're in the war room on draft day, we don't know what these guys, sketched up and said, "Hey, look, this is the next guy we need to target if he's available, best player available." And let's face it, we always have a need almost every position. And they said, "We want this guy."
Mm-hmm.
They said, nah.
Well,
this says here, these numbers right here tell us that this guy is this, but this guy is this. So we need to take, no, we don't need to take a quarterback in the first round. Let's not do that. We're going to wait until the second or the third this time because we know we can get this guy at a steal. Well, thanks a lot. That's, that's why we are where we are.
They got 5 in the first 2 rounds next year, so maybe they can do something with it. All right, last quote.
They need to take 5 fucking quarterbacks next year then in the first 2 rounds.
Or at least 2 of the 5.
No, 5.
This is the curveball. He's one of the best coaches in pro football.
That was the quote?
Yeah.
And who are they referring to?
You got to.
He's one of the best coaches in pro football. I'm going to say that's. Oh, you know what? I know who said that. That was Hugh Jackson talking about the dude from Minnesota.
I just wanted to see if you would guess it was Hugh. It was someone talking about Hugh, but that's exactly right.
Okay, because I was going to say I heard Hughes press conference today, and I shook my head and almost drove off the road 3 times listening to it because I thought it was last Wednesday's, and they just played the same tape until someone mentioned Minnesota, and he said what great friends they are, and that he even said that what's his name was one of the best coaches in football,
Yep.
and I hope that the guy, and I think that guy, why can't I think of his name?
Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer said that it was either him or somebody else said that Hugh and the Browns have this going in the right direction.
Yeah, yes.
Somebody
If
said
that's
that.
not a paid quote from Mike Zimmer, I don't know what
Well, you
is.
know what? And
Hey, Mike, I'll give you a 5 Gs under the table if you say some kind words to me on the air.
and what's he going to say? He's not going to go up to in his presser and say, you know what, the Browns suck. We plan on winning this weekend. I don't give a shit what kind of plane they fly
Dude,
over
if
on.
you were the coach and you were playing against me and I was Hugh Jackson, that's exactly what you would say.
That you suck?
You would say, yeah, you would say that. You would say, we're going to win. They're no good. We're going to go over there and we're going to beat their ass.
You know what? I probably would. I probably would say something like that, but I would say it
Either that or you would
behind
get caught
closed
saying it to
doors.
your team and it would be on Facebook Live.
That's what I was just gonna say. There's always a camera rolling these days, as this is right here is proof positive, and that you got to watch what you say and who you say it about because Jim Klingenberg's not always there to bail you out.
Hey, pretty soon they'll notice us in the stands and buy us free beer.
Hey, you're those two assholes. I don't agree with what you say, and then we're gonna get in a fight.
Almost got in a little fisticuffs downstairs. All right, this is the what the hell are we doing here? News and notes. First one up: Myles Garrett's in the concussion protocol.
You know what? I don't remember him even getting dinged up on Sunday. Just that they said he showed up
walked in
at the
on Tuesday and said he had
and said he had a
symptoms.
headache. And they said, "Well, up, you're in the concussion protocol."
Okay,
This guy has officially played in 3 games for us so far.
I think
Our
3 of
number
the
one,
7.
the injury in training camp was sad.
Yeah,
You'd hope
yeah,
he'd
that was
been back a little
unfortunate.
bit. High ankle sprain. You hope he comes back a little quicker. He came in. He played. He looked good against the Jets. He was on a snap count. I understand that. I didn't really hear his name too much last week, and I do not remember him getting injured or going off the field at any time. For him to show up Tuesday at the facility saying I have a headache, man, I'm not saying it throws up red flags, but it sure isn't, installing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah. It's hard, especially in Cleveland, just because we've all had, we have our speculation, like game 11, game 12, we're usually out of it. Joe Hayden or someone would come up with one of their suspect headaches. I mean, but I know concussions are serious business. I know they're nothing to mess around with, and each one's different. It just, when you hear it, you're like, suspect. But I'm sure he's okay.
And not only that, if it's legit, concussions can be contagious. You got one, before you know it, you got 5, and you're not out of the league in 7 years, you're out of the league in 4,
right?
maybe 3.
And that's the thing about Myles is it's always like, yeah, he's got it, he's got everything you need, all the intangibles, da 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 da. Can he stay on the field?
The best ability is availability.
All right.
Nothing's ever been more true.
Kaiser starting and Kessler is the backup. How long does Kaiser last this Sunday?
My question is, how bad are Kevin Hogan's ribs, and will he be? I'm just kidding. How long does Kaiser last on Sunday?
I think we tried that.
I like to think he lasts the whole game and the Browns win because he doesn't get lost up here. He has physical tools. He's not a terrible quarterback. He makes bad decisions, and he's young and inexperienced.
If he beats this defense, and he goes the whole game, then I wouldn't see another reason to pull him later in the season unless he goes back to before. I mean, if he can do that, exactly what you said, and actually win, which
I'm not even
is
expecting
going to
them
be a
to.
tall
I'm not.
task.
We haven't been expecting them to. There's a couple games we probably thought they should have competed at a higher level in this season, but I don't think we ever expected them to win any games so far.
Hmm.
But to go out and get embarrassed,
Indianapolis, we expected them to win.
I think we probably hoped. I don't know if expected is even a good. I don't know if that's a good word to use for any of these games when you have a team like this and you're in the position that you're in. I don't know if you expect them to win, but you definitely expect them to be more competitive than this.
Kessler stinks. Do we care if we see Kessler play ever again? Aw.
Um, no, no. I mean, the writing was on the wall with him in training camp. I mean, he took hardly any first team reps.
Mm-hmm.
Hugh knew what he did. As much as we asked him to trust him on this guy, Cody just he's whether it's a size thing or an accuracy thing or an arm strength thing or whatever it is, he's everyone says, oh, he's a career backup. I don't even know that he's that. I bet you in 2 years we won't remember that he was here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's a small Colt McCoy, and that's small.
Well, yeah, and he can't throw the ball down the field. He's accurate, can move a little bit, but
He's a game manager, and he's not the kind of QB you want to have when you're down any points.
All right. Next up, last bullet point for what the hell are we doing here? They added tight end Matt Lengel to the active roster. So now they have 4 on the active roster. And you think they'll be doing a lot of some more tight end blocking Sunday?
I would think they probably did that just to shore up the ends. They have a 2 tight end set, but then have them in for run blocking help. I don't know. I've never even heard of him. I don't know where he went to school. I don't know what his size is. I don't know what his strengths or his weaknesses are. What's his name? Matt what?
Lengel. Lengel.
Matt Lengel.
Mm-hmm. He was on the practice squad.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like he came from the Patriots.
Yep.
He was signed by the Cincinnati Bengals, undrafted free agent in 2015. I don't know anything about him. Went to Northern University.
Looks like he caught a 18-yard touchdown in December of 2016.
He also played for the New England Patriots, where he was a member of the Super Bowl winning team. Good for him. He's 26 years old, 6'7", 265. He's 6'7", 265. If he was 6'7", 285, he'd scare me, but I don't. He played for the Bengals for 1 year. He played for the Patriots for 1 year, and now he is on the Browns.
We got him. Randall Telfer, Seth DeValve, Matt Lengel, and David Njoku.
Well, he has in his career, as of week 17 of 2016, so as of the end of last year, he has 2 receptions for 22 yards and 1 touchdown.
Woof, 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 woof.
So he averages 11 yards per catch and has 1 touchdown.
Dude, that's awesome.
He
scores a touchdown 50% of his catches.
That's it. On October 10th, 2017, Lengel was signed to the Cleveland Browns practice squad. He was promoted to the active roster on October 25th, 2017. That is the extent of the stats for one.
We're out of here.
Lengel.
It's time to make some predictions and get the hell out of here. So we got, you heard it here first. We're doing last week's predictions, this week's predictions. I took a logo from Mark Podolak on Twitter. He created a Browns United logo based on the London football leagues. Nice. So I added it to our slideshow. You can go ahead and check that out, Brian, after when you go and watch the recording of this show.
Oh, send me the link.
I always do, and you never watch it. You heard it here first, last week's predictions. This guy named Kaiser Kessler Hogan said, we will see Cody Kessler. We will not see Jim in the Muni. Jim said another Browns loss. Myles Garrett will get 2 sacks. It'll be 33-13. John said 27-24 Titans. Peppers will get 70 return yards. So let's go ahead and look at who won. And so if you see another Browns loss, that's correct. Myles Garrett 2 sacks. He did not have. And 33-13 obviously did not occur. So Jim, I did not declare the winner. 27-24 Titans. Peppers will get 70 return yards. John obviously is not going to be making any headway, and you heard it here first. So Kaiser, Kessler, Hogan. We will see Cody Hessler. We did. We will not see Jim in the Muni. We did not.
2 for 2, baby.
Bam.
That's unfortunately those both came true. I would have loved to have hung out with Jim in the Muni. Would have been fun.
Would have been okay.
Probably put a face to the face because I see him all the time, but I've never actually seen the man physically.
Gotcha.
So, we could always use a 4th for cornhole. We had great ribs, and he missed out.
Oh my God, man, those ribs were good. I mean, I was still salivating about them on the way home, and you're like, "That's great, Spalding. Please get your hand off my fingers."
So that, and we will see Cody Kessler at some point during the game. I had hoped to be wrong on. I will not. I can go. I'm going to jump ahead here and say I will not make that prediction this week. I hope.
What is your prediction for this week?
My prediction for this week is that you need to familiarize yourself with a name called Adam Thielen. I believe he is a wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, and he will probably be the focal point of their offense. We don't seem to have a problem.
We're not prediction other than he'll be a focal point.
No, we're very stingy against the run. I'll tell you what. I'm going to have 2 predictions. I think the Browns will score first. I believe it will. I think it will be a very close game up until the end of the 3rd quarter, and then I think we'll just run out of gas. So I'm going to say, I'll give us Browns 17, Vikings 30. That would be my prediction for this Sunday. Unfortunately, the bad part about it is it's going to be very early. The good part about that is it will be over in time to watch the 1:00 games where other teams look like they're playing a different sport. And you did hear that here first.
Dude, I really don't even know where to start. I think the
Vikings are 4-3 or 5-2, aren't they right now?
5-2. I just see a slaughter. I see a 33-10 slaughterhouse.
Well, I think our defense is what's going to keep us in the game because I think Case Keenum is still their starting quarterback, isn't he?
Yeah, you're right. Take that down. 24-10 slaughtering.
All right, so you're 24-10. I'm 30-17. You're 14 points off. I'm 13 points off. We're still, any way you look at it, we're losing by.
Is Peppers playing?
I think Peppers is questionable with a toe. I want to say Collins is questionable. They haven't even announced right now since Garrett just went into the concussion protocol yesterday. They're saying that they hope he's good. Some guys go through it faster than others, and that's fine. But they don't even know if he's going to make the trip right now.
All right.
So we're going to be losing 3-4 key defensive components, and then Girl Scout cookie or the Samoan or Danny Shelton jumping off sides is not going to help our cause. But he will dance.
So I'll say a 6 total between holding and false start.
You get 6 penalties?
Mm-hmm.
6 defensive penalties or 6 total penalties?
Offense. Offensive holding and false start.
So 6 offensive penalties.
Mm-hmm. for just us.
And that's just for the offense.
Yes, that's
So
my game prediction.
So you're going to have 6 offensive. Well, how many defensive penalties do you think we're going to rack up?
I don't know. I can't predict that right now. I just did the you heard it here first, and it's whatever game. And Jim says 27-10 Vikings. Browns will score a defensive touchdown.
So the only offense we're going to have in this whole game is a field goal, according to Jim Klingenberg.
Yeah.
1 defensive touchdown and 1 field goal.
Promising. Looking forward to it.
Well, once again, for the 6th week in a row, Hugh did say that he needs to get the ball into Duke Johnson's hands more often. 7 touches last week.
It's like he says things, but he never delivers.
I think he's just saying that to try to trip the other team up. I wonder if it's working.
No one is fooled by anything that we do. Like, even when the defense goes, they're very vanilla. They're very vanilla. They don't call anything complex, and the teams just pick us apart, even the shitty ones. With that, that's it. You heard it here first. Congratulations on your victory. And we will see you next time. We're not going to be here for the bye week. We probably won't be here after the bye week, but we might.
Oh, we'll have plenty to talk
Before
about.
We'll be here before, so 2 weeks.
So in the 2 weeks from this,
Right
so that would be that'd be like the 1st, I believe, won't it?
No, we won't be here that week.
Okay.
We're gonna miss that week. We'll be here the week after. It's before the game after the bye.
That's a shame. I can't believe we're gonna miss each other. Well, hey, you heard it here first.
There's nothing to go over during the bye week. But remember, everybody, it's better with you.